Hi everyone and welcome back to another video with me Shruti. You're watching Living Our Ascension. Today in this video I want to speak about a question that I received recently, and it's on the subject of twin flames. And somebody asked me, if they have a twin flame, and they sent like these long emails, and but it was speaking to a question that a lot of people have, or that I see people expressing, in their posts, for example. So it's really important, even though perhaps it's been spoken about a lot, but I've seen that people really go through these themes, so it's really important to address this. And the thing about twin flames is that, as always, please remember that a twin flame is not a person. So it's not somebody else outside of you that you're going to find, suddenly in your reality. That just does not happen. It's something that is inside of us. It's a creation principle. It's how we were created within creation. So, when we burst out from source, like when we were birthed into creation and we moved into creation, that's just how we were birthed, as a twin soul. And on one level you can say that it's two souls, because it becomes like through the I am presence, then there's the formation of the twin soul pair. And even though it's one soul, then they travel out as different individuals, but within, because you see, this is how creation is, at that higher level. Just like there's oneness, we are all one, even though we're all individuals on this earth. At a higher level, at a deeper inner level, we are all just within oneness. It's like almost like we're all we're all creation, we're all spirit. So in the same way, this twin soul essence is your inner heart, is the soul that you are a twin soul essence, basically. So it's really important, when we attach ourselves to other people in the external, and then the things that they are going through, let's say that there's these cases of unrequited love, or where we just project a certain perception onto another person, and perhaps they don't even reciprocate it, or they don't even know that we feel this way. And what I want to share is that if you're going through things like this, then please just know that you're not alone, first of all, because the number one thing that keeps us from recognizing that this is a pattern that we have gotten ourselves into is that we judge that, we judge the fact that there can be someone who is so ungrounded. And just know that we all go through this, and it's because of the fact that especially when you get on the ascension timeline and you're actually going through your ascension journey, then there'll be different parts of your soul that different parts of us, because we are multi-dimensional beings, all of us, and there'll be different parts of us, different qualities, soul qualities, talents, everything starts to emerge. And often a lot of this is accompanied, first by a lot of purging, letting go of those parts of ourselves, the more egoic things that we identify ourselves with. And the moment that we shed that, we let go of the identification, where we are just seeing ourselves in someone else, and we just want to hold on to them, or want to hold on. We can't imagine what it's like to just let go of that, and how it would affect us. So once we let go of, each time that we let go of a layer like this, then a new part of our soul is born within, is grounded. So a new part of our own self, is grounded. So when you're going through things like this, and you're feeling that restless energy, just know that it's normal, and it's important to know what's happening, because once it's recognized, then you can become grounded, because knowledge is half of the work done, because you know what's happening within you. So whenever you go through this confusion, because there'll be different people who come into your life, and as long as we hold parts of ourselves that we don't feel whole within ourselves, all those parts of ourselves, we will attach in the external. So just know that if you're going through these dynamics where it's unrequited love and the other person is not responding, they don't even know, about your feelings towards them, this is not a twin soul relationship at all. And the important thing to know is that, like I began this video with, is that there is no twin soul outside of you. So it's not that one day you'll find your twin soul and, then you'll just be happy, ever after. That's not how it goes. Just approach relationships. My advice to you, if you're watching this and you're wondering about this question, do I have a twin soul, should I wait for them? Just approach your relationships in the normal way that you would. You might be on the spiritual path now, and it doesn't mean that your life needs to change, that it's not something that is outside the physical. We still need to live our physical life. And my advice would be, forget about this twin soul concept. Even if you don't know anything about it and you're just living your life, in a normal way, just being conscious of what's going on within and just trying to act in integrity with it in the external as well. You will be fine, and this is the highest fulfillment that we can have. And every time that we live this, we anchor a bit more of our own soul, and that is when the beloved, the twin soul, is felt in all our relationships. So, and like I was saying, don't judge yourself for all of these cycles that we go through, because we all go through it, even I've been through it as well. Because when you're so intensely, like most people, when they live their lives just normally, they don't go through such intensity always. There'll be certain periods where things are revealed to them. But when you're consciously undertaking a spiritual path, then, sometimes it can really feel like you are being overwhelmed, because there's this higher expansive energy. It's your kundalini that is rising, and we have all kinds of symptoms associated with it. But just know that when this confusion regarding relationships happens and you're wondering if somebody is your twin soul, let that go. It's not important. If you're with somebody, it's just like, your friendships, for example. If somebody comes to you as a friend and let's say you start imposing all these labels, wondering, are they this or that to me? No, we just have a good time. Like, we meet someone, and then, if it's fun, we meet them another time, and that's how they become friends. So your intimate relationships are the same way. And the sooner that we realize this, the sooner that we become grounded in it, and actually the more intimately that we find partners in our external that closely match our twin soul frequency. So it's a frequency, it's not a person. And you will be living it. I promise you that you will be living it in all of your relationships. So for example, I went through this whole process as well. And, at various periods in my life, I thought that I needed to know if a person that I was attracted to was like my twin soul, and each time it didn't lead to any satisfaction. So for example, we often look for confirmation, synchronicities, that the universe will send us a confirmation. And sometimes when we are attached, we will, because the external just replicates whatever's going on here. So in the beginning, you might get some confirmations as well. And that doesn't necessarily mean, that it's right. It's just that we need to go through something, and then sometimes, we are proven, we are shown otherwise. And that just means that, we need to then detach ourselves from that. We know that we have outgrown it, and we come into a new level of being. So this is a very sacred part of your journey. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's up to us, the choices that we make. And as I was saying, like the relationships that I find now in my life, they're very stable. They don't feel like they're any different from the relationships that I had before when I was growing up, before I became more, quote unquote spiritual. Because they're just a reflection. Like all my life, all my relationships have been a reflection of where I was. So they don't feel, of course, they feel expansive. But when something is real, when you're actually, living the beloved frequency, it's like, even though, when I find myself in an intimate partnership with someone now, there's actually, I was surprised that there's no difference between how I feel alone and how I feel with them. That's not to underplay, downplay the importance of the person in my life. But it's that I live this from within. I am love, and it's just I don't live in that frequency anymore where I attach this love onto a person. So it's always there, whether I have like a partner or not, or whether because you will be living it in everything, not only people. It's there in nature. It's just the air that you breathe. That is the beloved, you see. So allow for that to happen in your life, and let go of the idea that there's a twin flame outside of you that will come here, because it's not going to happen. And you will find that, you know, when you attract beloved relationships, and notice how I say relationships, you know, it's not about the one. You know, we might find one person that we, let's say, you know, settle down with, or whatever, you know, if we are taking that route. But when it comes to the beloved energy and living it, there are many relationships that, you know, will come as a very close reflection of that. And when we are actually fully anchored in the in our soul frequency, it'll be there always in all relationships. Like I've been saying, it's just the air that you breathe. And you will in fact find that, you know, when you come in contact with these close relationships that mirror you, often it'll feel a bit overwhelming. You know, it'll be in such a grounded, practical. It won't be oh my God, you know, like let's just escape the world together and we're just on our own dimension and things like that. These relationships, beloved relationships, are about service. And often when it comes to the frequency of service, of, you know, Christ service, and when I say that, I don't mean anything religious by it. It's the frequency of, you know, it has to do with the level within creation. It's a certain vibration, it's a level of being, a level of self-mastery within ourselves that relates to the Christ light. And when two people come together, two or more, you know, it can be more, they come together for service when it comes to the beloved frequency. And when it comes to service, as you know, it's not easy, it's challenging. So when you're in touch with these, you know, close relationships that mirror your soul frequency, in fact, you know, often you'll want to run away in the beginning, or, you know, if not run away, because that's a bit, you know, let's say it's a little bit negative or whatever. But you will suddenly feel this sense of responsibility that you have. And it might not be that everything is easy breezy. So, you know, usually when we're projecting these ideal concepts that this is my twin flame, and it's not the beloved frequency yet. So I would really advise that when you're going through this, just hold space for yourself, because these times when we feel this confusion are the times right before we are about to land something, are you know, another part of our soul, and basically we're becoming more empowered. And so that's also happening right now, you know, that we're landing relationships at new levels. But I'll speak about that in another video, which is more of an ascension update. This, I wanted to be just, you know, I wanted to address this twin flame question that comes from so many people, and so many people go through it. Just know that, you know, it gets very intimate when we are anchoring our soul. So, but the way is within. So stop looking in the external to attach yourself to other people, you know, especially if they are not responding, they don't share the same feeling, and they don't even know. It's not it, you know. So let that go. Do yourself a favor, because you deserve love, and you deserve you know, to be you know, this love that you might feel for another person that you're mistaking as love, because, you know, it's usually attachment. You need to, it just shows that there's a part of us that wants and desires that love, you know, that we are. Like, you need to give it to yourself. You need to remind yourself of the love that you are, and bring it into that place that feels empty, that feels like it's incomplete. So just be within it. What we need to do is really feel that space that feels like a void. And when we're actually just in it and breathing and not needing anything in the external, knowing that we're complete, you know, where are you going to run away from your own soul? Where is it going to run away from you? It can't. It's, you know, it is who you are. It's what you are. So so there's nothing to hold on to. There's nothing to let go of. It just is. It's you. And when we really truly feel that, and we recognize that, you know, from ourselves, from within deep ourselves, then this yo-yo type of emotions, you know, just it doesn't happen as much. And we can just live as the beloved, and everything we attract is the beloved as well. and it just becomes an intimate experience. And intimacy, of course, it's a part of self-mastery, how to master intimacy and living in intimacy, because this level of intimacy, like I've been saying, it's not easy to handle. These frequencies in the body, they're really high levels of frequency, and we haven't really lived it on the planet so much. So when the body is not familiar with how to manage it, this high level of energy and intimacy, and what to do with it often. So those are the times, and especially because we just had the eclipse season. Even though it's ended, we'll still keep feeling it for a while, because these are the bigger portals. So just allow yourself to breathe, be in that space that feels like it's not complete, and remind yourself that how you are complete. Feel the love that you are within. Like I said, the twin soul is something that you are within. It can't escape you. You can't escape it. It just is. And when you know that, something will shift within you. You'll know that everything just is the beloved. And your path will become much more about service. You will land a new level. I'm not saying that it wasn't about service until now, but those are the moments, because we go through different cycles. So when we realize that, then a new level of service lands, a new level of intimacy with self lands, and new relationships also start to come in. And again, don't project these ideas of, twin flame. I would just say, stop looking for your twin flame and forget the idea that there is one. It will do you so much good. So I hope that this video was helpful. This was just a spontaneous one that I made because I've been getting, these questions. So I wanted to address it, but perhaps at a later time, if I have more to say or I have more points, then I will present it in a more organized way. But I hope that this video was helpful. Let me know in your comments below if you have any more questions regarding this, or what you would like to know. And please have a look at my website, which is www.livingourascension.com, for personal services with me regarding self-mastery, regarding coming deeper into our ascension and the twin soul path. I have these readings, astrology readings that relate to these codes that are within your chart, of the beloved, these beloved codes, what kind of relationships, we attract. And it's basically, these readings are about knowing what our astrology shows of our higher self. And when we come into that, obviously we attract others that are coming from that higher self, because the twin soul experience it comes from the higher self. The higher self is here, and like a triangle. So the top is the higher self, and these two branches here are the twin soul pairings, and we form this trinity within. So there are codes within astrology also that help us at a more practical level, to see what to come into ourselves. And when we live that, when we really anchor it, then we attract it from the external also. So I hope that all this can help you. And like I said, let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. And I'll see you again very soon. Goodbye for now.